So one of the reasons I got tired of doing meditation, sound baths, and just trying to teach people about meditation and the importance of it, which is what I used to do in sound baths in the beginning, and talk about the chakras and talk about how to balancing them, and how to stay in the present moment. What I realized, though, doing it for so long, is that um, in a perfect world, or in a better world, meditation would be perfect for everyone, because just a little stress came in, you balance yourself out. But in the world that we live in today, what people are using meditation for is the same thing they're using antidepressants for, and any other kind of thing that makes them ignore what's happening around them, and instead focus only on their problems and their issues. Meditation teaches you to ignore everything around you and just stay focused on the present moment and for healing, and that's fine and good. The thing of it is that then you ignore the problems that are happening, that if we weren't all in a meditated or medicated state of mind, we will be able to solve pretty quickly. So yeah, people want to learn meditation because there's so many stresses out there they have to deal with, and they need to focus. And but the problem is that instead of focusing, balancing, and then seeing those problems out there and trying to fix them, they focus and balance and then ignore those problems, which is what most of humanity does. Right? We ignore the problems around us, or at least the controlling factor of humanity, because the 7 billion poor, they don't have a choice but to be in that poverty state. Right? But the middle class and the wealth class that that take medication, whatever it is, to ignore what's happening outside, right? Well then, let that misery continue. And it's an interesting story. The story of Buddha is pretty interesting. He was a son of a prince. Excuse me, son of a king, and he's going to be king himself, and he lived in the kingdom and lived a very sheltered life. Every time he'd go out into the surrounding kingdom, his father would send out envoys to make sure that all the people there were cheering him on, and all they were all feeling happy, and but he realized, he sort of felt something was wrong, so he went out one night, hidden, not as the prince, but as a person just observing, and he noticed all the misery that was happening around him, and he got very mad. His father, and he went back to his father and said, "How dare you hide all this misery from me? You told me that the kingdom is doing well and it's beautiful." And the father said, "I had to lie to you because I had have you learn how to be who you are today, to be a king, and you had to have that understanding that these people are there to serve you, are there to to be your people." And he got so mad that he left the kingdom. He revoked his his kingship, whatever it was. And he went out and he hung out with started studying. He started hanging out with these yogis that meditated all day and starved themselves and went without water and went, no sleep for days, and just meditated for hours and hours and hours and hours, because he just wanted to get rid of that misery, find a way to dissolve that misery around him. And that didn't work. And I remember the rest of the story. He tried a few other things, and he ended up underneath the Buddhist tree, and then he faced his demons, and he conquered his demons, and that's where he became enlightened. And it's a good story. It's a nice, interesting story. The only thing is that, this is 3,000-4,000 years ago, whenever Buddha existed. And where he's right. And Buddha's right. You could not do anything about what was going on around you, because you were one person, and what's going around you is these powerful people that control, warriors that can come in and just slaughter, the Mongolians or whatever else, tribal warriors that would go in and conquer other nations, right? Other tribes, other people. The war, the warlike ones, the ones that liked war. That was then. This is now. Now we still in Buddhism still teach that fact. Ignore the outside illusion. Focus on within. If everyone just focused on within, then that would go out and would be it's a nice concept, a nice story. But the thing of it is, it's not reality, man. Reality is that there is a lot of misery out there. There's 7 billion poor, and we can do something about it today. We refuse to do it because we are a slave to money, which is what the wealth class created. The middle class supports, and the poor class, which is 7 billion people, are forced to hold up and keep going as a way of life. So that's why people ask, well, why don't you just go teaching meditation? Why don't you just do sound healing again? But I got tired of making people feel good, leaving there. And all I wanted to tell them, the main reason that you're not feeling good is because of money. If you help me remove it from our system, remove that sword from its back, from our society's back, then all your problems would go away. Most of them would. And you wouldn't feel the stress that you're feeling right now. That's what I wanted to tell them, but I couldn't, of course, because who's going to listen to me? Who's going to come back and pay me to teach them, what truth is? Who's going to pay me to tell them the truth, right? No, they want to pay me. They want to pay me to make themselves feel better. So I made them feel better by teaching them, or teaching them meditation, and performing a healing meditation that made them feel better. It didn't make me feel better because I saw people leaving there that should have been pissed off about what's going on, just as pissed off as I am right now, and I was. And I couldn't make myself do it. So now I'm not going to do sound healing, I think, for a while, and definitely not teaching anybody meditation. And I suggest if you want to learn meditation, that's fine. But if you're going to use it as a way to ignore what's going on out there, and then you know what? You might as well take the medication because it's the same exact thing. Remember, money is the root of all evil. So all I have to do is pull money out and stop supporting the people that have created that slave, that carrot that we follow into hell. Do that, and maybe all your problems will go away. Actually, I promise you, all your problems, or the majority of your problems, would go away. We would have the cures for every disease within no time. Why? Because there would be no price tag on the cure. No cure would be too expensive because there is no such thing as expense. You have 7 billion people working on the cure, as opposed to 7 billion slaves holding up the pyramid for the wealth class, right? What we have now. So you want to learn meditation? Go ahead. But remember this. Your problems won't go away. Now for your children, every time you reincarnate back into this life, you're going to have to see and the more you reincarnate back in here, trust me, the more you understand more, the more you understand how much of a prison planet it is for souls that are trying to ascend. Instead, they get stuck here in this loop of reincarnated lives that is never ending. Until it ends, until God goes, that's enough for this, man. I've had enough with these people. They just didn't get it, So, yeah, that's why I don't teach meditation. I don't do the sound healing work anymore. Not for now, at least.